Hello my friends, welcome to the Wicked Bitter channel. I'm Travis, thank you for checking out this video. If this is your first time here on this channel, you are in the right place. If you love WWE, hit subscribe on this channel because we are releasing videos every single week. We cover Raw, SmackDown, sometimes NXT. That actually might be picking up pretty soon because NXT is looking like it might be a show that I need to cover a little more often. But we always cover the PLEs, and speaking of which, I have a predictions video for Bad Blood coming out this week. It'll drop on Friday. I would love to hear your input on that as well. So like this video, subscribe to this channel. Let's get into one of my favorite things I do here on this channel, and you can get involved in this too, is email videos. If you have emails that you would like to send me so I can make a video and read them just like we're going to do right here today, send it to wickedbittermedia@gmail.com and I'll make a video responding to your email. And if you subscribe to this channel, this is something we can do all the time. That's amazing. I don't think this video will be too long. I didn't get too many emails, but I did get a few, and I made a post on YouTube about something. I think it was the Vince McMahon documentary, or no, it was the fact that I couldn't post the Raw review video as soon as I wanted to because like I had an error or something, and I had to post it later on Monday night or Tuesday night, which is kind of bothered me a little bit. But on that post, someone mentioned, I think it was Patrick. Patrick mentioned that it was a good deal. Would love to see an email response video, and you're like, you know what? Let's do one. Let's do an email. Let's do an email video, even though I didn't get too many. That's completely fine with me. It means that I could probably spend more time on a certain email, which is great. So let's get into them. We got a few here. The first one I have, I read these from my phone, by the way, if you're new to this, because my laptop is across the room and I can't read that far, and I don't feel like hooking it up to the TV, all that kind of stuff, just whatever. I'm just going to read them off my phone, so bear with me. This one's from Billy Lindsay. I appreciate you emailing, man, because you have done this before, and I love when you email in because it's kind of cool to just see your name again. And you always have some great input and ideas and thoughts and stuff like that. So let's see what you got here. By the way, this is from a few days ago, so if this seems a little outdated, I apologize. I hope it's not. I hope it's all relevant to what we got going on. And if it is, that's completely my fault, the fact that I didn't do a video sooner. So let's see what Billy says here. Where the heck are they going with Roman and Cody teaming up? How about this idea? Braun Breaker gets his rematch against Jay, and at some point in the match, Solo and his thugs screw Jay over. Shortly after that, Jimmy finally comes back, so now we have a 4-on-4 if we keep Cody involved, which I'd much rather it be him versus Sammy. What are your thoughts on where if this is still the plan for Survivor Series? Well, the whole Braun Breaker versus Jay, I originally would have said yes to that, but I think this past Monday on Raw, we kind of got a little bit of a hint or an idea of where we're going to go. It looks like Braun Breaker's heading for Gunther's World Heavyweight Championship. So Breaker just dropped the IC title to Jey Uso and then immediately moved on to the World Heavyweight Championship, maybe? That looks like that's what's going to happen. If not, well, because I think Breaker is turning into a baby face, and I don't know if you're going to have a face Breaker versus a face Jay. Normally, I would say yes to this. I would be down for this rematch, but I don't know if the rematch is going to happen. As far as Survivor Series, I don't know, because we've talked about this in another video. I don't know. So I think we all assume that War Games is going to be with Bloodline, right? I think that's just the consensus, right? If it's not going to be Bloodline, I would imagine that War Games would be like Judgment Day versus a band of baby faces, which I don't know if I like that idea better, but I need to know what the idea is for the War Games if it's going to have Bloodline in it. So Bloodline for War Games would be obviously Solo, the Tongans, and Jacob Fatu, which is great. Now on the other side, so we're in October now. Survivor Series is the weekend after Thanksgiving in November. So we have a month. We have over a month, but they haven't teased or picked up on any of that yet. As far as like if the Usos are going to be involved and stuff, I would imagine. I think I would prefer it be Roman, Jay, Jimmy, and yeah, I mean, I don't know, like. I understand the hesitance from a lot of people about putting Sammy in there. Like, I'm kind of on that fence with you. because I do love Sammy. I've always been a supporter. I loved Sammy and the Bloodline, all that kind of stuff. But Sammy to me still feels like honorary, like Bloodline Uso, where it's like the rest of the War Games match would be literally pretty much family. Other than, Tongans are not really blood family. They're kind of just been considered family their whole lives. But I don't know. It'll still be a great match, whether Sammy's in there or not. If Sammy is not in there, who do we go with? I mean, we heard of, I think, Hikuleo. I've heard rumors that he signed with WWE. Zilla is another one a lot of people have talked about. But in order to do this, we need to debut them like right now to build them in the short time frame that they have for people to care when it comes to War Games. And not only that, if Roman is going to have the Usos and Sammy or whoever in that spot teaming up with him, we still got a lot of ground to cover. We got to get Roman confronting Jay, Jimmy, bringing Paul back, Sammy. It's going to take a bit, and it's not even that long. But I did notice that Roman Reigns has been advertised for like multiple weeks in a row for SmackDown. So maybe in that period of time, and we got to remember, Roman Reigns has not been drafted to a specific show still. They have not officially announced that. You remember when the draft happened recently, Paul Heyman said that Roman Reigns has withdrawn from it. So technically, Roman is a free agent and can appear on both shows. So if Roman wanted to go to Raw and talk to Jay or whatever he's got to do, he can do that technically. So we got to keep that in mind. What I was going to say, though, is if Jay is in that match, that's the IC champ in that match. So you would obviously, Jay wouldn't have a title match at Survivor Series. So, do with that what you will. I believe, I don't know. I was going to say I would like to say Roman, the Usos, and Sammy in there, or like another member of the Bloodline if we can debut one. But I can't rule out the possibility of Roman, Randy, Kevin Owens, and Cody being a 4-on-4 versus the Bloodline. I mean, I can see that happening too. So I'm on the fence about it. I'm going to be honest with you. Maybe I'll get little more clarity after Bad Blood, but I'm hung up on that one, to be honest. Hey, one thing I wanted to mention, by the way, I wanted to do it at the start of the video, but I completely forgot. So, I think it was a couple of days ago. I think it was Tuesday. Cody Rhodes was on Pat McAfee's show that airs on ESPN and all that stuff. Now, follow me with this because I'm trying to break it down so I don't confuse myself or you. On the actual live TV feed, what everybody saw, what was out there for everyone to see. During the interview, Cody Rhodes mentioned that there was going to be and it's kind of a tiny little tease / spoiler. Cody mentioned that there's going to be like a vignette or like a video cinematic package talking about something big. Now, I think he said someone big or something like that. I can't remember exactly, but so Cody said that he didn't want to spoil anything, but that's a little teaser, so that made me start to think a little bit. But it was after that is what really piqued my interest because I was on TikTok or Instagram, one of the two. If you followed my Instagram, you've noticed I've been a lot more active on there lately, like a lot, like every day, going crazy on there. But on TikTok, I came across Cody Rhodes' actual account. Like it's his actual page. It's not a fan page. I don't even think WWE runs his page. It's his actual page where he, shows videos of his kids or his daughter, his family, stuff like that, and behind the scenes kind of thing. So this was shot on his page on TikTok. Now it's not WWE, like I said. I don't know if it's Brandy Rhodes holding his phone and recording stuff for him, like behind the scenes type stuff, or if Cody just has someone with him always to get some content for his page to film for him. But this happened off air. Nobody on TV saw this because it happened after the show was over, but somebody recorded on Cody's account. Cody saying bye to everybody on Pat McAfee's show. He was shaking hands with everybody or whatever. When he came to Pat McAfee, McAfee said, "Hey, I heard the big man is showing up this weekend." And Cody said, "Which one?" So Cody played it. He played it cool. But that piqued my interest because this wasn't meant to be out there. And if it was, they did a hell of a job, like making it seem like this was truly a behind-the-scenes type thing and nobody really would have see it or whatever. But word has gone out. So big man, are we talking Brock Lesnar? Are we talking The Rock? Or are we talking someone else? To me, my mind immediately went to Brock. Now, I say that because a couple of days ago, I saw that Brock Lesnar was added to the main roster page of WWE. Could be wrong. It could be changed now, or it could be there. I just haven't checked it. So, I don't know. All these things rolling in my head. I just want you guys to all think about that. I'm not trying to like ruin things or surprise things or, ruin surprises and stuff like that. I'm just relaying to you, in case you haven't heard yet, things that I saw and read, social media and all that kind of stuff. So, Bad Blood, I feel like, is going to be huge, and we got to make sure we keep our eyes peeled for maybe one or two surprises. We got another email here. Evan Voorhees. I love that last name. I always think of, is it Jason? Jason Voorhees? That's awesome. Sup, Wicked. I have a question, or really an idea I want to run by you. Sweet. I love this. I've been thinking about how Rey Mysterio should retire. Okay. I'm here for this. Let's go. More specifically, what his last match should be. Obviously, it should be him versus Dominic. I don't want to say obviously, but all right, let's go with it. Let's say it's Dominic. But to go the extra step, since Dom is looking more and more like Eddie, why not run it back? Have Rey wear his purple and black gear from Halloween Havoc, and Dom literally dress up as Eddie. Have it be maybe title versus mask, and hell, maybe have it at NXT Halloween's Havoc. What do you think? Keep up the great work, Evan. Evan, thank you for this email. I have some thoughts about this one. First of all, if it's going to be Rey Mysterio's retirement match, I don't think they're having it on NXT. It doesn't matter which show. It could be Stand and Deliver, which is like their equivalent to WrestleMania. It's going to happen. It will happen at WrestleMania, or it'll happen at like an episode of Raw or something. I don't think it's going to happen on a NXT show. But I like your idea. I like your premise of this whole thing. So I like Rey dressing up with the purple and black gear, but I feel like he's done that kind of recently, and I feel like it was against Dom, was it not? Or was it against Santos, maybe? Or am I getting things mixed up? Either way, having Dom dress as Eddie would be funny. I just don't know how far you go. If you take off Dom's shirt, not to sound weird to any of you, but he don't look like Eddie. So, I don't know. I like your idea. Title. Let me just say this. Title versus mask. I'm cool with that. Dom's got to have a title, though. Maybe by that time, he'll have like the IC title or something like that. I'm cool with that. Or even just, lose and you retire, or, something like that. Hair versus retirement or something. Like, if Dom loses, you shave his head. If Rey loses, he retires. Something like that, right? Like, I'm cool with that. But I don't think it's going to be on NXT no matter what show. I think it's either WrestleMania or Monday Night Raw. One of those two. But awesome question. Great idea, honestly. I personally probably wouldn't have too big of a problem with it. But knowing WWE, they probably wouldn't do something like that, like on NXT. But everything else, pretty valid. I mean, having Dominic coming out and Eddie's boots, how it had like the yellowish orange like flames around the feet. That would be cool for him to wear, and the tights, kind of like Eddie. But the problem is, everybody loves Eddie so much still to this day that I feel like that would get people loving Dom or cheering for Dom a little bit in that match, because he's looking like Eddie, unless there was a distinctive heel Eddie outfit or something he could wear. I don't know. But I get it. I get where you're at. I like it. I'm cool with that. But thanks for the email, Evan. That's pretty cool. Patrick P. with an email. Just talking about you, man. You emailed in. I wonder if this is why you said you wanted to see the email video, because you knew you sent one. Tricky. I like that. Pat says, hey, thanks for being wicked bitter about wrestling. Hey, thank you for being wicked bitter about wrestling, too. This is all of us here. I love this. What a community. By the way, what a community we've grown so far. Over 1,500 subscribers in less than a year. I'll take that any day of the week, man. I mean, we really popped off in January, or no, not even. It was after that. It was right before WrestleMania. It was the SmackDown where Cody gave up his spot to The Rock. I made a video. I made two videos that weekend or something, and then this channel just took off. So kudos to all of you, and props to all of you, and appreciation to all of you, because you have truly sparked something in me. You have no idea. You have no idea. I've been trying to do this channel for a long time, and for a while I was doing like all sports, like some wrestling stuff, some hockey, some baseball. I was doing a bunch of stuff on this channel. And after that weekend about the whole Cody thing and how this channel blew up with just a bunch of wrestling fans, I was like, you know what? Let me just dedicate this channel to just wrestling, and let's just talk wrestling. You know, I get a bunch of people in here that love wrestling. We can do stuff like this and more stuff in the future. Trust me. Once I'm done with this course that I've been taking for school or whatever, once I'm done with that, regardless of the outcome, whether I pass it or I fail it, which I'm going to find out in a couple of weeks because I have a project coming up and I'm nervous and I feel like I'm not prepared and I might fail it, but that's another story. Regardless of the outcome here, I'm going to do a whole lot more for this channel. Streams, games, a lot. I have a lot of ideas and plans. So if you think about subscribing, subscribe. Trust me, you're going to love what happens with this channel. But let's get back to the email from Patrick. I wanted to ask about Gunther. Do you think he's being used properly to build as a monster heel for a future Cody or Roman feud? Do you think that's his trajectory? Thanks for everything you do. Always stay bitter. I love this. Thank you. Awesome email as well, Patrick. That is a good thought. That is a good thought. First of all, I think Gunther has been booked properly. Yes, I think he's been exactly what he has always been. Like even in NXT UK, even in NXT, and he's in a hell of a lot better shape than he was back then. Even and back then he was a monster. Now he's even better. I love the way he's been booked. He doesn't wrestle every week, which I also kind of like. You know, he's letting you know when he gets in the ring, it's truly something to watch. It's not being worn down or used every single week, much like they've done with like CM Punk. I mean, Punk hasn't even wrestled a match on Raw yet, and he's been back for a year. So the way they're handling Gunther, I love it. You don't ever see Roman wrestle that much. I love that. You know, it can get annoying at times if they take too long before they do it, but I definitely like the idea of making them feel like they're so big that when they actually do get in the ring and wrestle, it's a big deal. So, yes, I think they're booking Gunther properly. Now, to the second half of this question, for a monster heel run or a feud against Cody and Roman, I love that aspect. And honestly, a few days ago, I was thinking about it. I saw something that Roman will participate in the Rumble. And I'm thinking, okay, so let's just say if we're booking and painting WrestleMania, if Cody still has The Rock coming, and The Rock will be going for Cody's title, let's just assume that's what's going to happen. Cody versus Rock at Mania, you could maybe do Roman winning the Rumble and then choosing Gunther at WrestleMania. Roman versus Gunther at WrestleMania? A babyface Roman versus the monster heel Gunther for the World Heavyweight Championship? Yeah. And then when he wins it, Roman can go to Raw, which will be on Netflix. And I've heard that Netflix wants Roman. This could all work out perfectly. I got Roman winning the Rumble. I'm going to say it now. Winning the Rumble, challenging Gunther for the World Heavyweight Championship, and then at WrestleMania defeating Gunther and staying on Raw. And then you'll have Jay and Roman on Raw. Who knows what can happen there? It'll be on Netflix, going into the new year. I love that. I can see that happening. And I think, honestly, the feud will be amazing. Roman versus Gunther. You could say Cody versus Gunther, but I think Cody's got his hands full for the next maybe half a year to a year type deal. He's going to have to... I would assume he's dealing with Kevin Owens, Randy Orton at some point. The Rock is coming back at some point. I think we do have to run a match with Roman and Cody again. And honestly, Cena's retirement tour... I want to see Cena versus Cody at some point. I don't know if you get Randy to beat Cody for the title at some point, and then Randy versus like Cena, and Cena wins it from Randy to break the record, and then Cena versus Cody to pass the torch and the title back to Cody. Maybe that's how we get there. I don't know. That's just me fantasy booking. Please continue to fantasy the book the hell out of WrestleMania or WWE in general. I love that. I love hearing different ideas. I have so many in my head. I would love to hear all of yours as well. So, hey, Thanks for the emails, everybody. That was a great email. I mean, all of them were great. I appreciate all of you. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't yet. Like this video. Trust me. If you're somebody who's here every single week and you watch all of these videos, I appreciate that. But please go the extra step and hit like on the video because it does a lot for the channel, honestly. And I want to bring in more people to this channel. I want to build this to be as big as it can be. I wanted 1,500 subscribers by the end of the year. We're past that. The next goal now, I'm looking at 2,000. We got to get to 2K. That'd be great. But yeah, I appreciate all of you. Have a good week. I can't wait to talk to you about Bad Blood this weekend after it's done. I'll be making a video reviewing that afterwards. Predictions video comes out Friday. So yeah, let's go, man. We got some good wrestling coming up in the next few days. Everybody enjoy the rest of your week. Until we yeet again, my friends, as always, stay bitter.